Hi guys, and welcome to DIY Ideas. Today I will show you this really big scarf. This is made from the same Alice puffy wool that you can use without any crocheting hooks or any knitting needles. You just use your fingers, and I used 2 balls of yarn for this in these like really cute pastel-y colors. It's great for spring, awesome to wear around your shoulders or your neck. And I think these colors are just super pretty. It's a great accessory for spring. And how I did this, I'm going to show you very soon. I'll tell you now, it's very simple. Okay, so here we have 2 balls of yarn of the Alice puffy wool color. And you can see it has these like beautiful pink, yellow, and white colors. I think it's great, yeah, for spring. And you can see here, you don't need any crocheting hooks or knitting needles. It's 100% micropolyester and has this Eco-Tex certification. The color code is 6369 and it's 100 grams and it's about 9 meters long. It sounds short, but because it has these loops, you can actually make a lot with that. And so yeah, I have 18 meters in total because I have 2 balls. And so I like starting from the inside of the ball. And so I pull out the middle here until I get the beginning of the thread. And actually, I thought I found it, but I didn't actually. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to put the ball of yarn here on the floor. And then here we are with the loops. So the first thing we're going to do is basically count the loops for the width of the scarf that we want. So you can see that there's these little loops. That's what the thread is made out of, basically. And so you can see here the 4 next to each other. It's super fluffy, really cozy, really comfy feeling. And so what I'm going to do here is count the loops. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is our width with 10 loops. I think that's a great width. So we're going to go with 10. And here on the left, I have the beginning of the thread, and here on the right, that's the last loop that I counted. And so we're going to work now from right to left here after this last loop. Okay, so we're going to put the scarf here, and we're going to put the thread here on the back of where we're going to work, kind of. So here on my left hand, we have the 10th loop, and so the 11th one, we're just going to pull through the 10th one. And so now we work backwards from right to left. So the loop number 12, basically we pull through loop number 9. And so I'm just going to put the thread kind of here behind where I'm working on. Just so it's easy to remember which is which, because with the first row, it's just the thread right now, and so sometimes it gets a little chaotic, so it's good to keep a little bit of an order to what you're doing. And so I take the loop in front and I pull the loop in the back through the one in the front. Okay, so I take the loop from the thread and I pull it through the one that we had laid out and counted before. As you can see, this is very easy. It's very simple. Yeah, it's very easy to do. You don't need any equipment. You don't need any materials. You just use your fingers. Yeah. And here we are already at the first loop, or the last one, depending on how you see it. This is our first row. And this is the full width of what we had: 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So obviously we want 10 loops in every row. We're not gonna have any decreases or increases here. And so what we do now, after this first row is fully done, we take the thread and we put it from left to right behind what we're working on. And we do the same thing again. And so we take the next loop and go through the first one here on the left. And then we continue working from left to right. It's always you always just work from left to right, and then the next row from right to left. And we just continue here, making sure we get all the loops, we don't skip any, we don't leave any out. So we just always put the loop from the back through the front. So what you don't need to do here is turn around what you're working on after you finish the row. Usually in crocheting or knitting, that's what you do. But here you just work left to right or right to left. So just switching the sides, but you don't have to turn anything around. And so here we're done with the next row already. You can see how quickly actually, you progress here. And so what I said earlier, that 9 meters per ball of yarn sounds short, but as you can see here with the loops, you actually, it's really quick, it's really fast, and you make a lot of progress with those 9 meters for sure. And so now we're on the next row, so we're working from right to left. So you can see here is I'm kind of holding it like vertically, kind of, just so you can see a little better which loops you're working on. And so on the left here you have the thread that you're working with, and on the right you have the part that you already did. And sometimes that helps me see a little better, which loops I'm working on, and to make sure that I don't skip any. All right, and so here we're done with this row as well. I'm going to continue doing this for a little longer, and I'll give you an update in a little. All right, guys, so here we are done with almost the whole first ball of yarn, and you can see that this is quite a decent length actually for the scarf already, but that we have 2 balls of yarn today, and so here we are at the last bit. It's not enough for the last whole row, but we're gonna do as far as we can anyway. So we continue doing this row until the thread basically runs out. Number 3. And then we'll take this one to number 4. Oh, I actually see what happened here. I skipped a loop. So we're gonna go back and do that again. And so as you can see, you can actually open this up really easily here. You just pull the thread out and it comes right out. And so I have 3 of these loops left here, and I'm going to cut them off because I want to have that thread without any loops. And I'm not going to cut them off too low and too close to the thread. We're going to leave a little bit of the loops left, because I've had it in the past, and it's happened to me in the past, that if you cut them too low down, you actually also cut the thread. But we need the thread, so make sure you don't cut it too low. All right, and so we're gonna take the next ball of yarn that's here, and we're gonna also take out the middle and find the beginning of the ball, wherever it is. If we can find it. Let's see. I'm having some trouble here finding the beginning of the ball. Well, we pulled out a lot, so I think what I have to do is kind of roll it up again. Okay, so here is the beginning. And so this is a ball of yarn actually where you have a good amount of thread at the beginning. That's not always the case, but I actually like this. And so what I'm going to do is kind of just tie together the end of the beginning of the old and the new ball. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to find the first loop that I have left over to continue working on. And so I'm going to take the first loop of the thread and I'm just going to pull it through, and I will continue with this row until, I'm just going to finish off this row and then make sure that I hide the threads and tie them together. Okay, so here we're done with the row. Oh no, one more. Now we're done with the row. And I'm going to go back and find the 2 threads that are loose. I'm going to turn it around. And so here you can see that I have these 2 little the beginning and the end basically left. So I'm just going to tie them together. I'm going to do two ties here, 2 knots, like that. And then it's already secure. And the ends, I'm just going to kind of weave through yeah, some of the stitches, some of the loops of the scarf, just to hide them a little bit. And because the wool is so fluffy, you can't really actually see that, see what I'm doing here. And yeah, they're basically gone. And so we go back and we continue working here with the next ball of yarn. Okay guys, so I'm almost done with this scarf here. I have this little bit left here of the thread, and actually the scarf turned out really long. It's a little more than 2 meters, so it's really, really long and just, yeah, super cozy. I have this little bit left here of thread, but it's actually not enough for another row. And you obviously need a little bit of thread also to, yeah, to tie it off at the end. And so I did take my really big crocheting hook here. You don't need it, but I do like using it. So I'm going to show you both options actually. So I'm going to start here at the side where we started this last row. So not the row where we have the thread left, but the other one. And so you can see here I have the loop here. And so I'm going to take that loop and pull the second loop through the first one. And so we have the second one, and we take the third one and pull it through. And then the next one here. And so we always pull the loops now side to side, basically. It's very simple, and you can see, yeah, the nice like seam that you were creating here. And with the hook, actually, I think it's a little easier because when you pull the loop through, you have the next loop already on the hook to pull through the next one. So I just think it's a little faster. But that's obviously because I'm very used to using my crocheting hook. And if you don't have one, that's totally fine. You don't need it to finish off the scarf. So here I'm at the very end and I have the last loop left only. I'm going to take my scissors here and I'm going to kind of shorten the thread to have like 3 or 4 loops left. And then I'm going to cut off the loops and make sure to keep a little of the loops on just to not accidentally cut the thread. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one, and here the last one also. And so now we have just the thread left. And so here we're going to take the rest of the thread, I'm going to pull it through the last loop. And then I'm just going to go and hide the thread here in between these loops of the rest of the scarf. Kind of how we did it, yeah, in the middle of the scarf where we switched the 2 balls. And so I'm just going to weave it through, pull it through these loops here, and just hide it here in the very edge. And because it's so fluffy, you can't actually see that at all. And yeah, so the scarf is done. You can see how nice and wide this scarf is. It turned out really, really long. It's more than 2 meters long. It's super cozy, and I think it just looks super nice. It's great for spring. The colors are just so cute. And I hope you guys liked watching this video. Thank you guys for watching DIY Ideas. I hope you liked this video. If you would like to watch more, please visit my channel and subscribe for free. And you'll always be the first one to be informed about a new video. Please share this video with your friends and see you next time.